Hello, we are inviting you to enter artwork into our first ever public art exhibit for God Loves Art called Light and Dark. And so we're really excited about this, and we're going to give you some kind of like some guidelines and some examples. I've got some little samples here that we can show you for food for thought for your own art. This is open to people whether they have artistic experience or not. You could just be starting out in your journey, or you have maybe like thousands of hours in your art, either one, because we like emerging artists. So I'm Jessie.
I'm Amy.
Yeah, and we are the co-founders of God Loves Art. So we do art in prisons, churches, and cities so that we can love our cities through art, and that's what we're all about. And God loves art. He just really does. So the light and dark exhibit we want to invite you to can be any medium. So what kind of mediums are we talking about?
It could be poetry, it could be assemblage, it could be photography, watercolor, acrylic, oil.
Yeah. So it can be 2D art, 3D art, art metals, stained glass.
Spoken word.
Yeah, spoken word. Yeah. So like anything that has to do with the qualities of light and shadow and darkness and reflections and things like that is what we're interested in for this exhibit. So let me see. It does not need to be something about faith, but it can be.
Right.
So that kind of is up to your art and or your artist statement that you write about your art. So it could be about a shoe or a candle. It doesn't have to be. It can be abstract, non-representational. Yep. So hopefully that's nice and wide open for you. It does need to be your own art because we want to see what you make. So don't copy somebody else's, say like if you see a painting, don't copy somebody else's painting.
Or photograph a part of their painting.
Right, yeah. So you're not in a museum taking a picture of somebody else's art and then submitting that. So but yeah, so some examples, food for thought. Let's get to it.
All right.
So this is about light and dark can be about value, which is lightness and darkness of different things that we can see, including medium values too. So like here's a house, photograph of a house with a great variety of lights and dark areas in a really cool, interesting way. And here is another one with a lot of value interest. Values can be bold or subtle. Like there's a subtle shift back here and there's some boldness over here with the values. And you see there's color in it too. It doesn't have to be black and white. You can have color in value. This doesn't have to be photos or paintings or anything in particular. It could be anything. Here's another one with some very subtle color, but this is like a beautiful photograph about value. And then here is one of my entries that I'm actually going to put in this exhibit, and it's called Looking at Glory. And so I love the different values in this painting of this beautiful woman and the contrast throughout the painting. So that's about values, lights, darks, mediums in a work of art. And then we've got some shadows. You can like do a piece that is about the interplay of the presence of light and the absence of light. In other words, shadow. So there's one. Here's some bicycle shadows that are interesting. I love the angle that photograph is taking and how subtle the shadows are right there. There's some soft edges in those shadows that are really cool. Here's another shadow piece, which is really beautiful and interesting. The way the light is breaking through some of those paintbrushes is gorgeous. And another bicycle photo, and you can see there's like some camera effect right there of the play of light in the photo is really interesting too. And bokeh effect is another thing that can be explored through art. That is, again, because of the shadows being there, the light is able to come through in the shape of the lens, which is called bokeh. I always love bokeh. And then here's an abstract piece with some playing around with lights and darks and different values and shadows. So this is another piece that I'm putting into this particular show. This is called Light Studies. It's a portrait of my daughter in watercolor. And it's based on a photograph that I took, and I loved the way the light was coming in through the Venetian blinds behind her as she studied for school. So these are just some food for thought for you guys. Again, we are taking any kind of art submissions from children as well. You don't have to be an adult to enter God Loves Art exhibits. So please know that this is a very inclusive and encouraging community for all types of artists, including beginner artists.
And you can submit more than one piece.
That's right, up to 3. So, and the reflection part of this is the way that light can be captured in reflections. Look at that awesome little dot of a little drop of water and the reflections inside of that. That's kind of a cool thing. So things that can reflect light might be water, glass, metal, what else? Like windows, chrome, even people's eyes reflect light in a really interesting way. So in here is like a picture of some water reflections. So these are all having to do with light and dark and interest in the presence and absence of light. So there's like faceted, cut glass or jewels or something. So those are the examples we have for you. Again, any medium. And I really hope that inspires you, and we can't wait to see the art that you submit for light and dark, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, or creative writing. So, all right, you guys. We'll be praying for you as you prepare your pieces, and they're due on April 25th of 2025. All right. See you later. Bye. Thanks.